Hello everybody, welcome back to Hard Enduro and Adventure Media. What's going on? Well, we're just in sort of final stages of a bit of a wheel build here at the moment. This is a spare wheel that I'm building. I've had that hub for quite some time, but I just thought I'd refresh it with a set of brand new SM Pro spokes and a brand new KTM rim. And it's looking quite good. And we're not far off now, we're getting to the point where we're just about to get to the final torquing of the spokes. But what's been going on? Well, most of you are aware now that my dad passed away last Thursday, after a 2-year battle with ill health. So we're just having a bit of a quiet weekend at home, just trying to get on with things and trying to sort of start getting back to some sort of normality and moving on as Dad would like me to. But firstly, can I just thank everybody for the support that's been shown? It really has been quite amazing. I'm really grateful for it, the personal messages that I've had as well. I will try and get around to messaging everyone individually over the next sort of week or 2 weeks. I've got a bit of a list going, so I will do that. But we've got to move on and just try and get things going again. We've got a cat on the scene now, by the way. I'll show you the cat in a second. But yeah, I'm just doing what Dad wanted me to do now, and that is just get on with things and just try and enjoy life. He's in a better place now. I don't have to worry about him now. And at the end, he was happy. And that's what counts. Right. So what's happening now? Well, right, we're getting this wheel sorted out. This is Rory. Say hello, Rory. Wow. This is Rory, next door's cat. I always like to show his face, don't you? Yeah, jump down. So the last couple of videos that I did were extreme ravines. Now that was GoPro footage. The first two videos we've done, I thought the footage was quite good actually, with the camera on the front of the bike and with the Hero 7 Black smoothing it all out. It worked quite well. But we had some issues, and the issues started to develop at the end of the second clip. That's part 2 of what is on. The bike, the 300, took a little bit of a beating in that event, and it took a knock at the front end. The camera took a bit of a knock, and as we go up that bit of a slope at the end of part 2, I laid the bike down. And the footage, well, the footage stops there basically. The camera stopped for some reason, and I didn't know. So the only footage I've got after those first 2 videos isn't great. All we've got really is loads of sort of off-camber trails in the forest after, I think it was after checkpoint 4. It's not that, to be fair, it's not that interesting because there's no other riders. If you're following riders with GoPro, it makes it more interesting. If you've got no riders, to follow or something else to see, it can be a bit bland. So I'm not really that bothered about sort of putting that footage up. I'll show a little bit now, but that's the sort of footage you've got. And it wasn't until I got to just before checkpoint 8 that I realised the camera wasn't running, so I switched it back on. I've actually got myself going up that bit of switch back up to the checkpoint where Jimmy Davey was, and going through, and again the camera switched off, but I managed to get it going again just before the finish, which was checkpoint 9. So a few issues there with the GoPro stuff. It's a little bit vulnerable on the front of the bike. That's the downside. I mean, it's great having the camera on your helmet or having a chest mount, but they're not legal. They are, well, I say legal. It's going against the rules, IOPD rules and the ACU rules. So the camera's got to be bike mounted. So it's a case of just trying to get what you can when you can with the bike mounted stuff. If the camera gets knocked off, it gets knocked off. It is what it is. But that's what we're going to have to run with. On the practice days, it's totally different. We can have it on the chest or the helmet. It doesn't really matter. That's just down to your own personal risk assessment. But going back to the event, Extreme Ravines, really enjoyed it. My time was 4 hours and 7 minutes, and I lost a lot of time on queuing. And I've spoken to John about this as well, John Kerwin, who was the event organiser. I mean, I think I lost overall about, well, a good hour on queuing, 45 minutes in one section alone. And John's looked at that, and I think next year things will be a little bit different. the biggest thing that I like about ravines is that every section, unless you're in the expert and the pro class, for the lesser boys like the clubmen, sportsmen, you know, sportsmen, vets, myself, youth, you're only doing each obstacle once. It's one massive lap, one whole lap, you know, and that's what I like about it. You start in one point, you do a whole loop, which, you know, it took me 4 hours. So, you know, if there'd been no queuing, probably 3 hours, and maybe a little bit less if I hadn't sort of been upside down a few times as well. I had a few crashes. At one point, it was only a slow incident. The bike, I was on a bit of a goat trail. The front end washed off the goat trail, and I came to a bit of a stop, and then I just lost my balance, and I went downwards. I ended up rolling down the hill 3 or 4 times into a load of nettles. Got stung quite badly in the nettles, and the bike's basically upside down on its handlebars with its engine still running. So, you know, incidents like that cost me time. You know, I think that incident alone cost me maybe 5 or 6 minutes alone. And then the one I had before it, I mean, I was hooked up in a tree at one point on one corner. That must have been, again, you know, 5 to 10 minutes there trying to sort that out. And so, you know, I probably lost 20 minutes, 25 minutes on silly mistakes that I'd made. But, you know, we live and learn, don't we? So, but overall, Extreme Ravines, really enjoyed it. Looking forward to riding there again. I'm gutted that I've missed round 2, which is Calm Quarry. And looking at Calm Quarry today, it's been a bit wet there. I mean, at home it's been dry. I saw some footage from Stevie Hanna.
Here now, Billy Boat. Taking a look very easy. I can assure you that's not high. I went over them. Here comes our very own. Yep, Reece Gazzard. Here he comes. Oh well. Good lad! Joe Bolton as always.
I'm good I've missed out, but I'm looking forward to round 3 and getting involved in that. So that's a bit of an update on Extreme Ravines. What's coming up next? Well, I need to start getting back into some sort of fitness. I've not done any fitness training, or I haven't ridden the bike since Ravines either for the last sort of 3 weeks with what's been going on. So I need to get back on the wagon and start doing stuff there. Next weekend I'm heading down to a place called Extreme Valley. I'm going down to mother-in-law's at East Grinstead on Friday night with my wife. Saturday I'm riding at Extreme Valley with my friend Dale Becker. Terry Higgs, who's running the show down there, is going to take us on a bit of a guided tour around the 250 acre estate, a forestry type estate. And then on Sunday I'm going to the Scarry compound, catching up with mate Robin Scarry and Carl Venter and the gang down there. So it's a weekend of enduro riding, practice riding, get back into the swing of things, and we'll start pushing on then to other things. Obviously round 3 is coming up in June, but before that we've got a day at Werndu on the 5th of June. And hopefully we're going to try and get some more riding in down at Tong and make a trip to Calm Quarry as well for some practicing. So we've got lots coming up at the moment. But once again, I'd just like to say thank you to everybody that has shown support in relation to you know, my dad passing away, and it really is appreciated. I'm sure my dad would be really proud as well of everyone. So from me at the moment, I'll be back later on in the week. Stay tuned. Hard Enduro at Adventure Media at Eurotech. See you soon.